Dr. Ali Rabbani, Dr. Mehdavi Poor, Dr. Anisur Rahman, Dr. Akhlaq Ahan, Brother Mehdi Bakr, all distinguished guests in attendance, Assalamu alaikum. My message is twofold today. First and foremost, congratulations, Mubarakbad, on the birth of Imam Ali alayhi salam, to all of you. A friend of mine returning from Iran brought Diwan-e-Imam Khomeini as a present for me. And due to my not so great knowledge of Persian, I managed to get an Urdu translation of his Diwan. I'd like to read a couple of verses, and I'll leave translation of these verses in English and Persian to Dr. Anisur Rahman and Dr. Akhlaq Ahan for all of you. Uqda hai dil mein, uqda kusha chahta hu main. This is Imam Khomeini's poetry. Uqda hai dil mein, uqda kusha chahta hu main. Rakhta hu darde ruh, dawa chahta hu main. Main doobta hu, band karo ye kitab-e ishq. Ek daste na khuda, ba khuda chahta hu main. As I said, I'll leave translation to Professor Anisur Rahman and Professor Akhlaq Ahan. Today is Tera Rajab, and I was having a discussion with a friend of mine, and in our discussion on Tera Rajab, I was mentioning to him that Josh Malihabadi wrote a Musaddas with 110 bunts in it on the birth of Imam. And he said, how can someone write 110 bunts on birth? And I explained to him that he named it Tulu'e Fikr, which is birth of a doctrine, birth of a thought process. And out of those 110 some bunts, I've selected about 6 or 7 for this occasion. Chalne lagi hawaएं, चहकने लगे तयूर, रंगीन बुलंदियों पे फूंका वलवलों का सूर, ज़र्रात की जबीं से उबलने लगा सुरूर, पर फड़फड़ाए जाग उठा खाक का गुरूर, झोंकों ने हौसलों को चढ़ाया जो सान पर, उड़ने लगा ज़मीं का तबक आसमान पर। यूं ही फराज़े रूह पर उभरा एक आफ़ताब, दीन का निशान, फिरत का अलम, आगही का बाब, हक साजो, हक नवाजो, हक आवाजो, हक माब, मकसूद अर्श, मूरिसे अफलाक, बुतराब, इरफाने जिंदगी का अलम खोलता हुआ, बंदे कबाए लौहो कलम खोलता हुआ। पैदा हुआ सुरूद अजल सलसबील में, उतरी शुआ सीनाए फिक्रे जमील में, रोशन हुए चराग दयारे खलील में, जुम्बिश हुई दोबारा परे जिब्राइल में, छन्ने लगी शुआ तफक्कुर के बाप से, फूटी किरण जबीन रसालत माप से, फूटी किरण जबीन रसालत माप से, घूमी कलीदे फजल खुला कुफले फैज़-ए-आम, नागाह आसमान पे गूंजा ज़मी का नाम, गर्दिश में आए नारे सल्ले अला के जाम, पढ़ते हुए दुरूद बढ़े अंबिया तमाम। काबे के गिर्द एक किरण घूमने लगी, काबे के गिर्द एक किरण घूमने लगी, रूहे मोहम्मद अरबी झूमने लगी। हाँ शम्मे ज़ात ख़ैमे अल्फाज में जला, लैलाए हक को महमिले तकरीर में बिठा, गोशे बशर को चश्मे हकीकत निगर बना, कानों से लोग देख सकें जलवाए खुदा, तेरे बयां पे गुलगुला उठे दुरूद का, यूं पेश कर सबूत खुदा के वजूद का, यूं पेश कर सबूत खुदा के वजूद का। आखिरी दो बंद ऐवान सल्तनत के वो दर गर्क हो गए, जिनमें हवा भरी थी वो सर गर्क हो गए, वो कसर हाय लालो गौहर गर्क हो गए, उठी लहू की मौज भंवर गर्क हो गए, चमके अलम वो गुंबदे बद्रो हुनैन पर, दमका वो ताज फतह जबीने हुसैन पर। आखिरी बंद ही ends with this कि ले वो नजफ की समत से आने लगी सदा, ए जोश नुक्ता संज मेरी अंजुमन में आ और झूम झूम के नगमाते नौ सुना, साखी मेरा सलामे अदब ले कि मैं चला, मौलाए कायनात और आवाज दे मुझे, ए जिब्राइल कुव्वते परवाज दे मुझे। Hopefully you will get to read translation of this wonderful work from Josh Malhewadi. And the title is Tulu Fikr. Let's come to the book of my father, Professor Syed Akhtar Zaidi. He wrote several books, and it started from his first book, History of Short Civilization, written in English about 500 pages back in 1956. And then he wrote a book on, geometry for 9th and 10th graders. Ended up writing history books for the Board of Education. And this particular book was written by him, an attempt to pen Imam Ali's biography as pure and historical as humanly possible. You will see in his foreword that he has clearly stated that this book is written by a student of history, written by a human being, on a human being, and for the human beings. And hopefully we all see it that way. I still remember my father's feet getting all swelled up because he used to sit and research for hours and hours after he came back from college. Partly I've written about a page and a half on it, but I would like to read my thoughts and just a paragraph from towards the end, that different religious elements wish others to see Jesus's crucifixion in a particular way because they wish others would worship or respect him in some particular fashion. What they are actually attempting to do is to persuade people to behave in a certain way and make particular choices in their word. It is not, in the end, a fight about the past, but the present, because to change people's vision of the present and the future, one must begin by altering their perceptions of the past. This basic and well-tested equation lies at the root of every political election, change of government, and social revolution that's ever happened. My father has brought this very fact, business of persuading people to behave in a certain way to the daylight in a very eloquent manner, and has told Imam Ali's story in a very convincing and captivating way while providing context and credible available evidence. I hope that readers will read this book with open minds and open hearts. Professor Zaidi was a loving and compassionate father and an objective and honest historian. I'm extremely proud to be his son. I would like to thank all of you who have participated, particularly Professor Akhlaq Ahan, to collaborate and coordinate this event on behalf of my entire family and on behalf of my father. So thank you, Professor Akhlaq Ahan, and a sincere and heartfelt thanks to all distinguished guests, as well as Dr. Ali Rabbani once again, and Dr. Mahdvi Poor, and Brother Mehdi Bakr. Thank you so much. Assalamu alaikum, and congratulations on the birth of Mawla Ali.